All right, let's get into it. Have you ever tried managing a whole fleet of Docker containers and felt like you were just about to pull your hair out? Well, today we're going to dive deep into Docker Swarm. And trust me, by the end of this, you're going to see just how surprisingly simple container orchestration can actually be. Okay, so think about this. You've gotten pretty good with Docker, right? Spinning up one container, that's easy stuff. But then, boom, your app takes off. It's a hit. And suddenly, you're not juggling one container, you're juggling dozens, maybe even hundreds of them spread out across this whole sea of machines. So the question is, how do you possibly tame all that chaos, without completely losing your mind? Well, that exact problem, it actually has a name. It's called orchestration. And I love this analogy. Think of it like you're the conductor of a container orchestra. It's your job to make sure every single container is in the right place, doing its thing at the right time, and playing in perfect harmony with all the others. And today, we're going to solve this whole problem using Docker's very own built-in tool. All right, let's get right into the heart of it. First things first, what exactly is Docker Swarm? At its core, the key phrase you really got to lock onto is single virtual Docker engine. See, what Swarm does is it takes a whole bunch of separate computers, each one running Docker, and it kind of magically links them all together. So from your point of view, you're not managing a bunch of different machines anymore. No, you're commanding the entire cluster as if it were just one single thing. And this is the perfect way to picture it. Just imagine taking all the CPU, all the memory, all the resources from every single one of your machines and forging them together into one giant virtual computer. That's pretty much exactly what Swarm does. It completely abstracts away all that underlying hardware, which, let me tell you, makes managing the whole thing so much simpler. So, you might be asking, how does this giant virtual computer actually think? Well, it uses something called manager nodes. These guys are the brains of the whole operation. When you type a command, something like Docker service create, you're actually talking to a manager. It's kind of like the air traffic controller for your whole cluster, It's directing all the containers to the right runways and just making sure everything runs smoothly.
And naturally, if the manager is the brain, then the worker nodes, well, they're the muscle. These are the machines that do all the heavy lifting. They get their instructions, which are basically just run these containers, from the manager, and they just execute them. Their only job is to run your actual application workloads. Simple as that.
Okay, let's talk about the payoff. Why would you even do this? The benefits here they're huge. First up, high availability. That just means if one of your servers suddenly dies, poof, Swarm automatically moves its containers over to a healthy one. No panic necessary. Then there's scalability, which becomes almost laughably easy. But honestly, this last one, it's a really big deal. Swarm is already built right into the Docker you already know and love. There's no extra software to install, none. Theory is all well and good, but let's actually see how this thing works in practice. I think you're going to be surprised at just how simple this is. Ready for some magic? Seriously, it is literally 2 commands. On your main machine, you just type Docker Swarm init. That's it. That machine is now a manager. It's going to spit out a join command with this special token. All you do is copy that command and run it on all the other machines you want to add as workers. And boom, just like that, your cluster is live. Okay, so we've got a cluster. Now we can deploy what's called a service, and you can just think of a service as a group of identical containers all working together. So with one simple command, we can tell Swarm, hey, I want 3 identical copies of my web app running, and please expose them to the world. And what happens if you get a sudden surge in traffic? No problem. You just tell Swarm to scale that web service up to 6 replicas. And you're done. That's it. And here's the really mind-blowing part. With just those few simple commands, Swarm has automatically handled all the networking, all the load balancing, and all the health checks for you. It's all done. If one of your containers crashes, Swarm will bring it back to life instantly. This is real orchestration power, but with just minimal effort. Now, of course, we can't talk about orchestration without addressing the elephant in the room, Kubernetes. So the big question is, how does Swarm stack up against the big guy? This really isn't a David versus Goliath kind of battle. It's more like choosing between a sleek sports car and a giant heavy-duty truck. Docker Swarm? That's your sports car. It's fast, it's agile, it's super easy to handle. Kubernetes, on the other hand, is the truck. It's insanely powerful, it's versatile, and it's built for some serious heavy lifting. I mean, both will get you to your destination, a scalable app, but they offer a very different kind of ride. And this table really breaks it down perfectly. Just look at the setup and the learning curve. Swarm is It's a walk in the park. Kubernetes is more like climbing a mountain. And a key difference here is auto-scaling. Kubernetes is kind of like a self-driving car. It automatically adjusts to traffic. Swarm is a bit more like a manual transmission. You're in control. So when you look at that ideal four-row, a good way to think about it is Swarm is the perfect tool for a small to medium-sized project, maybe a startup. Kubernetes, that's the go-to for enterprise-level, tech giant kind of workloads. And this quote really just sums up the whole debate, doesn't it? It all comes down to what you actually need. Do you need to get a resilient, scalable app up and running, like fast? Swarm is going to be your best friend. But do you need to manage a massive, super complex infrastructure with very, very specific requirements? Yeah, that's where Kubernetes really shines.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? Let's wrap things up with a few key practices you should definitely keep in mind.
Okay, here's some pro tips to really take your Swarm game to the next level. First, and this is important, always run an odd number of managers, so 3 or 5. This makes sure your cluster can survive a manager failing without falling apart. Second, get in the habit of using Docker Compose files to define your entire application as a stack. This is basically like having a blueprint for your whole setup, which makes deployment super repeatable and easy. And finally, before you ever do maintenance on a server, always drain the node first. That safely moves all its containers somewhere else before you start working. And I just want to leave you with this one final thought. We live in a world that often seems to worship complexity. But Docker Swarm is this great reminder that sometimes simplicity is a superpower. The best tool isn't always the one with the most bells and whistles. It's the one that actually solves your problem, effectively and efficiently. Thanks for joining me on this one.